Hello, hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you to everyone that's trooping in. Thank you to everyone that's trooping in. Smith Layi, are you there?
Yes.
Why don't
Yes.
I hear you? Okay, I hear you now.
Okay.
Yes, thank you to everyone that's trooping in. Please, whatever platform you're on, share the video so that we can get more people in. We appreciate every single one of you for joining us. Please share the video. If you're on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed to the channel to join the chat. Thank you to everyone joining on X. Thank you to everyone on Instagram, on Facebook. We appreciate every single one of you. We have a few topics to discuss today, some transfers, some Super Eagles talk, a little bit of Super Falcons talk as well. Please let me know where you're joining from so that we can just hail you very quickly before we get into the conversation. Smith Layi, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good. Nice to be back again.
Yes, nice to be back again talking Nigerian football.
Yes.
Yeah, guys, please let me know where you're joining from so that I can just hail you very, very quickly. Let me know where you are hailing from. I see all of you on Instagram. Thank you for joining. I see you guys on YouTube already. X Twitter is already they're keeping up with their regular um their run of having the most viewers on that platform, and I appreciate every single one of you guys. Please repost, share the link, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. And yeah, let's get as many people in this live as possible so that we can have an engaging show. I see you, Abdul Jalil. Hope I will enjoy your program this night as well. I trust that you will enjoy it. Don't worry. John Jones is from Cybertron. Where is Cybertron? Tunde Adedeji is from Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you, Tunde, for joining. Onye Chiojuku from South Africa. Thank you. Felix from Cape Town. Thank you, Felix, regular on the program. Peter Wonderful, I see you. Otumba Salamso from Canada, I see you. Thank you very much for joining us. Of course, I'm joining you guys from Canada as well. Smith Layi is joining from the United Kingdom. Steve Onoli is in India. Taiwo Kunade is in Dundalk in Ireland. And yeah, let's get into it. Please do not stop sharing, do not stop liking. Let's get as many people as possible, especially on YouTube, guys. Please, if you're on YouTube, make sure you like. You're not just watching, make sure you like the video. It helps the algorithm to know that, hey, these guys are doing something good. We should show it to more people. We should get more people watching. So please, if you're on YouTube, make sure you like the video and make sure you're subscribed to the channel so that you can join in the chat. Okay, another week, another exciting conversation, another exciting episode for you guys today. I won't say lots to discuss, but quite a handful. And as always, we have to end today exactly at 12 a.m. We would give you guys the last 20 minutes to come on to share your opinion, to share your thoughts. So if you hear anything or you want to contribute on the show, make sure that you are ready to go. You have your camera on, you have a good microphone, and you are fully dressed. Don't be one of those people that come and be showing us their chest. We don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Okay, final greetings before I start today. I see Ahmed from Houston, Texas. I see Kezia from Abuja, Nigeria. Mohammedin is in Turkey. DJ is in Dortmund, Germany. So yes, thank you to every one of you guys. John Jones is in Detroit, Michigan. Okay. Smith Live, let's kick this off. I want us to take a number of transfers, talk about some transfers, then we'll go into the Super Eagles, then we'll talk about the Super Falcons, and just end the program for today. So for the first transfer, I mean, this is a transfer that I'm sure most of the people that are watching and listening to us would have heard of, that have seen already. It's a player for the Super Falcons of Nigeria who, has burst onto the scene and has made big waves in a short amount of time playing professional football. I'm talking about Jennifer Echegini, Of course, she has joined Paris Saint-Germain Feminine in the French D1 Akema on a 3-year deal. I mean, this is after she just, started her professional career with Juve earlier this year. Now the deal has been confirmed. She's now a Parisian. Smith Layi, I'll let you go first. What do you have to say about this move for Jennifer Echegini?
It's what we actually was saw coming. When she had a very good season with Juventus ladies. I
Yeah,
think she scored handful of goals. I think there was a game she scored a trick.
10 goals
Fantastic.
in 10 goals in 16 games,
10 goals in 16 games. That was fantastic return for a player just moving to Europe.
and she's
Fantastic.
not even a striker.
So her, she's not even a striker. So I'm really, really actually happy for her. I just hope that she continues. So I think she realized that the Syria feminine, that's not really her level. So she
Mm.
actually wants to step up and and mingle with the big girls, in the big stage. That's why the move to Paris Saint Germain actually what you know came about. But one funny thing about this move is that I saw it about 2 weeks ago in one of the press, in the French press, that the move is already, it's done deal. But I don't know why it took PSG longer time to actually to announce it.
Mm.
Fantastic player, and he's a player that you saw glimpses of her during the last World Cup. You will see her again in the Olympics. Very, very good player.
Hmm. I mean, we will see her again in the Olympics, and of course, even for her club Juventus. Rather, I see, I'm already getting confused. For her club PSG, she's going to be playing in the UEFA Women's Champions League next season. So, of course, that's a big stage for her to be playing in. We always like to see our players competing at that highest level. PSG, of course, is a competitive team, so she's going to have to play very well to keep her spot in the team. But honestly, I think I have more than enough faith in her ability that she can really break into this PSG side and she can make a lasting impact. Um, some people felt like, I remember when we made the post on our social media, just reporting the news. I know some people were like, why is she leaving too early? She has only been there for 6 months. It's a bad move, blah blah blah. But hey, if you are good, you're good. If you can get one of the top teams in the sport to want you after only a couple months, come on, there's really nothing that she has to wait for. Staying in Juve, maybe you will say, oh, it would have helped her development a bit more. But the way she just bossed that league in the few games that she played, to me, it just shows that, yeah, she's probably better than that level. And the girl wants to challenge herself at a higher level. I'm all for it. Juve probably were not even paying her anything that great in the first place.
Mhm.
Let's not go into what it's like for black players in Italy. Let's not get into that. I'm not saying it's much better in France, but we know what it's like in Italy. So yeah, I'm happy for her. I'm wishing her all the best. I hope that she can shine in Paris. Hopefully compete for the Champions League title. And um, I mean, we really hope that it goes very well for her. But yeah, for now, the next step is for her to go to the Olympics with the Super Falcons.
True.
And I think Smith Layi already said she'll be a joker for the Super Falcons. So
Yes.
it has a chance to be a very big tournament for her. Let's see how it goes. Let us see how it goes. Um, Abdul Jalil says, I wish Jennifer Echegini the best of luck at PSG Feminine. Let me see. Felix says it is a big move. Yeah, it is definitely a big move. Alpha is saying congratulations to her. Yeah, congratulations to her. Okay, let's move on to the next one. For the essence of time, we'll try to take these fairly quickly. This is another transfer, a player that hasn't represented the Super Eagles of Nigeria yet, but has received a call up. Unfortunately, he had to withdraw due to an injury. But he has made it clear that he wants to play for us. I'm talking about Gabriel Osho. Gabriel Osho completed a move to AJ Auxerre in the French League One. Of course, he joined as a free agent after leaving Luton Town after they got relegated from the English Premier League. AJ Auxerre is a newly promoted team to the French League One. He has signed a 1-year contract with the option for a further 2 years. What this just kind of means is that, he's going there to play first team football, but he's also cognizant of the fact that, hey, this club, mama, yeah, they might also be going down next season. So he's like, let me sign a 1-year deal, see how it goes. If we're able
Mhm.
to stay up, if we're able to stay in the league, then he can commit to a further 2 years. I know that he's fighting for something. but he doesn't want to be tied down to a contract that if they get relegated next season, he's not
Mhm.
able to move on with his life. I think what I like particularly about this movie is I just like the fact that he's challenging himself to stay in a top division.
Mhm.
He's not scared of going to, a foreign country like France
Mhm.
to go and test himself out and see how he does. And I just think it helps the Super Eagles' chances. Yeah, he's been called up, but he hasn't played yet. And if he had gone to play in the championship, or one of the lower leagues, people could have started to question whether or not he actually deserves to be in the team. A
Yes.
lot of people have this thing about, oh, why are you calling a player in the second division, things like that. So at least for him to maintain his space in a first division team, you know, he can continue to fight for a spot in the national team, and maybe he finally gets to play his first match for Nigeria pretty soon. But Smilai, what did you think about this move? Gabriel Osho to Auxerre.
So the move is a signature of like he wants to stay relevant. He wants to know he made the move already to play in the first division. He did it in the Premier League. So I think he wants to remain there because as far as I knew that Sheffield United wanted him, big offer, and they are also playing the championship. I don't think he wants to actually take that risk and play in second division because I think we have loads of defenders too in the second division. So I think he wants to stand out. So this move is like just trying to, he's trying new thing. He wants to stay relevant. He wants to be considered for the national team. I think he's thinking about international football now with this move. And also don't forget that he's one of his best friends too, Michael Olise. He left England too to move to Bayern Munich because they're very, very good friends. So maybe it's just like, come on, try new things now. I think he's also trying new things in France. So kudos to him for doing that. And also he's following the footstep of the Super Eagle legend himself, Taribo West. He was the first that donned the colors of AJ Auxerre for Nigeria. So and I think for Auxerre, he did so well when he was in AJ Auxerre. So I still think that he can also follow the footstep because they will judge him, with what Haribo did in
Yeah.
AJ. So I think that he can, he also looks like Haribo was too, with the dread and everything. So so I think that he can be able to live up to expectation. Best
Hmm.
of luck to Osho.
Let me ask you this question about Osho. Do you think he's somebody that legitimately can make the Super Eagles better? Like, are we going to feel his presence in the team? Does he improve the team if he's playing for the Super Eagles? What do you think?
The funniest thing is that this guy should have been part of the AFCON team. It
Hmm.
was his passport that delayed him from making the AFCON team. And the way the coaches planned with him, I think they want him to play the right side of the central defense. So he's someone that Jose Pacero already had in mind. So I like him. He's a tough tackler. He's a guy that though he might not be fast on the turn, but he's a very tough tackler, and he can actually very good in the air. So he's someone that I think that can be because I won't lie to you, in that central defense, I think we're just managing those that are there. I know
Hmm.
Kevin Bassi is a very good lad, but for other options we have there, I think we're just managing them. I think if Osho can challenge himself here, step up, I think it's going to be a very good option for us.
Hmm. So you think Gabriel Osho and Calvin Bassey is the Super Eagles partnership, center back partnership of the future?
I don't think Super Eagles can play with two defenders.
With two center backs.
I
Hmm.
don't think so. I
So
just
it's
think that
going to still need maybe Ekong in the middle of
yes,
them.
maybe of between the two of them, yes.
Okay, okay. I hear you on that one.
Mhm.
Okay, let me just see what the comments are saying very, very quickly. I believe Abdul Jalil is saying, when I saw the news regarding Gabriel Shaw to AJ Auxerre, I was surprised because I want him to move to a better club. But all the same, I wish him the best of luck. Like, what would you say to this comment?
So which club is better than this thing? Let him go to AJ. AJ also is good. Let him go because, for example, now Tottenham and Fulham came for him, but they did not present anything. Should you go and force them to? So sometimes teams have priority. Teams that shows more interest, and he wants
Hmm,
to play. He also wants to play precision with them too because it's
hmm,
very important. So I think I'm not. It's also 1 year contract now. Don't worry. If you have a big club for him, he will come later. Or it's 1 year that he signed.
Mm. I know that's something that I always say. It's always funny. I mean, I understand fans though. Like, I'm not blaming anybody for having thoughts or opinions like that. I understand
Mm-hmm.
the way fans want players to play for the biggest clubs and things like that. But
Mm-hmm.
it's always funny. Like, it's not like, oh, Man United wanted to sign him now, and he said, oh no, I don't want
Mm-hmm.
Manchester United. I want to go to Auxerre. At the end of the day, he will choose what is the best option that he has on the table.
Mm-hmm.
It's I remember I saw a tweet from a Nigerian player. I forget who it was. That's going to see. Is it Sudan? They say he's going to, or Benin Republic or so. And the guy was like, "That you people are insulting me for going to Benin Republic." He said, "Did my agents bring Europe?" And I said, "No." So it's like, I don't know. The day is what he
Yeah.
has on the table that he will choose from. He cannot
Yes.
just say, "Oh no, I want to play for a big team, so I'm going to." That's how you will see him staying 2 years. He's at home.
Yes. Yes.
With all due respect, it's one of our Nigerian players. I don't know the whole situation, but there's a
Yes.
Nigerian player that has been out of action for at least a year of football now. And I hear that the player has clubs in Brazil, the player has clubs in other countries, but he's like, no, I want to wait for an offer in Europe. He has been
Mm-hmm.
waiting for an offer in Europe now. One season has gone past him, another season is about to start going past him. So at
Mm.
the end of the day, sometimes you kind of just have to take what your option is that is on the table. Stay active, stay present, and if he does well at Auxerre, those bigger teams in France will notice him. Those bigger teams in England will notice him at the end of the day because he's still a homegrown player.
Yes.
So I think at the end of the day, even though they are a newly promoted side, it's not a bad move for him at all. It's a chance for him to continue to um,
Mm.
push himself forward. Okay, Felix Peters says having Osho is better than having Shemi Ajayi. So Felix is a fan of Osho, at least ahead of Shemi Ajayi. Um, John Jones says Olisa Nda and Igor are good options too. Yeah, I mean, I would say that they're good options, but at the same time, it's not the same level. Igor playing, I like Igor a lot. I've been following him, for a long time now, since before he moved to Slavia Prague. I like what he's doing, but he needs to grow a little bit. And I say this with all due respect to Igor. I remember when I watched him in the Europa League this past season playing against in Romelu
Yes, Roman.
Lukaku. Yeah, and you could just, I mean, Lukaku is not a small player, but
Mm-hmm.
Lukaku is not the best striker in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But in those two games that he played against Lukaku, you could just tell that this one is a JJC job. This one just the stuff. Like, Lukaku showed him a very different level of what he was used to playing against in the Czech league. And
Yes.
I just think, yeah, maybe he needs to keep on getting better before he stakes a claim ahead of players that are playing in the top divisions like the Premier League or like the French League One.
Mm-hmm.
It is very, very serious. The Czech league is not the strongest league in the world. So even Igor, it will be nicer for him to play at a higher level. I'm not saying he cannot get a call up. I'm not saying he cannot get an opportunity, but I just think it's a bit difficult when you are comparing him to players that are playing in top divisions across Europe. As far as Olisanda, I would say I really like Olisanda. I've watched him 2 games already this preseason with
Mm-hmm.
Orlando Pirates. They played against Plymouth Argyle, so that's
Mm-hmm.
Mohamed Tijani's new team. So I wanted to watch that game because I was interested in it. And then their second game, they played against Sevilla.
Yeah.
So that was Eduque. So I was like, I need to watch these 2 games. And obviously, it's preseason, it's not highest level of
Mm-hmm.
competition, it's not serious, quote unquote. But he held his own. Plymouth Argyle, maybe I would even ignore it a little bit because they are a championship team. But against Sevilla, I was very interested in seeing how he would compete against a team like Sevilla. And I won't lie, he looked very solid throughout the game. He only played 45 minutes, which you can expect in preseason. But
Mm-hmm.
he didn't miss a beat, he didn't make any errors, interceptions, tackles, winning aerial duels. He looked quite good. So Olisa, that's a player that I would say I would like to see how he can compete. Of course, we've seen him play for Nigeria before, so it's not like he has never been part of the setup. But it's always just that challenge of a player in South Africa versus a player in the top division in Europe. How do you really compare and see how they are? But personally, I like Olisa, and I think he's a good defender. And I think we just don't have friendlies like that are coming up now. It's
Mhm.
international, I mean, it's competitive fixture, whether qualifier for AFCON or qualifier for World Cup. So where do these guys really get a chance to try? Unless maybe there's an injury to somebody or somebody suspended or things like that. But I will say I'm a fan of Olisanda, especially when I watched him these two games. I'm like, okay, if this guy can compete against these top division players, then who knows, And come to think of it, Orlando Pirates, they drew 2-2 against Plymouth Argyle, they beat Sevilla 2-0. So Orlando
Mhm.
Pirates, as a whole, they are competing well against this European side. Do you want to say anything about Olisanda Smith, or should I go
Yeah,
back to
yeah.
comments?
Let me just, a lot of people have been saying that I think that for Igor Obu first, if a player like Benjamin Tiamino, could get a call up to the Super Eagles,
Mm,
that's the level we find ourselves now. Why can't Igor Obu, which is a much better player than
mm,
Tiamino, get a call up? With Sadiq Bending is getting called up to
mm,
the Super Eagles, why not Gabriel Osho getting a call up to the
mm,
Super Eagles? So, because this is the level they put us to. So if you want to judge based on that, we can just realize that or you cannot tell me that Tiamino is better than Ozanda, but that one is a story for another day.
mm,
And secondly, too, I watched the game between Sevilla and Orlando Pirates. I think they played against a Sevilla team that he just finished eating by the yam and a goosey soup. Not the series Sevilla team. If you come back 3 weeks after, if you come back in 3 weeks and play against the one that is drinking protein mix and everything, if you come back to the
mm,
other one, not the one that was these people they are just like Suso was playing. That's not, let them come back in 3 weeks.
mm.
Then we can settle very well. That
Yeah.
for Sevilla look out of it in that game. They don't
Yeah, I
look
mean they
like
did.
they don't
Okay, side. This is a side conversation. Sorry,
yeah.
but Smith, like, if Orlando Pirates is playing preseason against European clubs, why
Mhm.
can't our own MPFL teams, travel to Spain and go and play in preseason with all these guys?
I the last MPFL team I think that went for that was Enyimba. They played against Inter Milan. I think they lost 7-0.
Mm,
Against Inter Milan. They were just, it was a training match. So I don't think they have the financial, they don't have the deep pocket to take a team to
true.
Europe, and it's unfair because instead, if you even take them now, maybe they run away. You never know. You just realize that you can't play for pitch. They don't complete. Well, don't know we don't go. Sometimes it happens. You just realize that they are not competing anymore. Maybe they want to go and meet
Mm,
your sister. They come, oh, my sister this Spain. They don't run come on. So sometimes too it can actually what happen. But I just think that Nigerian club doesn't have that deep pockets to take teams to
mm.
Europe.
Okay. Let me go back to the comments very quickly. I see Owolewa. Thanks for joining. Otumbala Salam so says Bassi seems better playing left back though, with the chop goal when he plays center back. Hmm.
What about for Afcon?
Um,
You shop go.
I mean, we didn't. Let me see. Kenny J says I have not seen him play, but I wish him the best of luck. So that's talking about Gabriel Osho.
Mm-hmm.
Fumi Deb said, IoT, are we going to the World Cup? Ha. If not me, they decide. Yes, of course, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not my decision. No.
Mm-hmm.
Felix says Igor Ogbu is definitely a good defender. He's always in the upper team of the week and of the competition. So Felix is a fan of Igor Ogbu.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Peter Wonderful says if our players travel, they will run from there. Also, Smith, like people are agreeing with you that maybe they should not take our MPFL teams abroad.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. We still have other comments on Facebook. Adebola Timtokpe says, as for Gabriel, I love the move. At least French league is better than the championship. Mm.
Yes.
Onyechi Ojuku says, why won't the pairing of Osho and Bassi work? I think Smitlai already kind of said, he just doesn't think that we can play with two center backs. It's not a matter of them in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Taiwo says AJ Auxerre isn't a small team. As long as he gets regular playing time, it's all good. Yeah. Taiwo also says looking forward to a pairing of Osho, Ogbu, Calvin Bassi, possibly Adarbia. Yeah, you people they call it Arabia. He said
He's not a Nigerian.
possibly Arabia Alexander. And Arabia is not interested. It's like look at Nada is in Chelsea. He believes that he can play for England. Nada is in
Yes.
Chelsea. So
Mm-hmm.
just leave Arabia alone, I beg. Um Elite 89 says Bassi is best played in a three-man defense because
Yeah.
he's too error prone. Hmm.
Ah, I don't
Okay.
think about that.
Okay. that's it for comments. Let's move on to the next
Yeah.
topic. Let us move on to the next topic for today. Okay, so I think let's talk about another potential transfer that may or may not happen. We have to wait and see exactly what happens in this situation. I am talking about a potential move for. I mean, has he represented Nigeria yet? I don't think so. I'm talking about Gift Urban. So
Mm,
Gift Urban, I mean, a player who, again, I'll use the term, he burst onto the scene playing for Car Ghent, in Belgium. I mean, fantastic goal after fantastic goal, fastest hat trick in Conference League. The audacity to be taking shots from the halfway line, and a bunch of other interesting and very, quite honestly, impressive things that he was doing.
mm-hmm,
A lot of hype was surrounding him, a lot of transfer interest. He got his move to Lyon, but unfortunately, things have just not gone as planned. His life. What did they say? They say, man proposes, but God disposes.
it's
Abi,
possible.
what's the
Yeah,
term?
you're right.
So it's not always up to you how things go for him. He joined Lyon, with a lot of hype when the team was struggling, and it quite frankly just didn't cut it. Poor performance after poor performance. It's not. I'm not trying to insult him. It's just the reality of what was happening. And honestly, it appears that the Lyon hierarchy, they've already lost faith in him. The
Mm-hmm,
fans have definitely lost faith in him, because I see a lot of the Lyon fans whenever they play. I see the comments they leave. I see them on social media. The Lyon fans have lost faith in him. But it appears that now the hierarchy, the people that make the decisions at Lyon, have
mm-hmm,
also lost faith in him. They obviously already have Lacazette on their team, but now they've decided to sign Georgian striker Mikhail Tatse. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
yeah.
We saw him scoring the goals for Georgia at the
Mm-hmm,
Euros earlier this summer. And they're signing a 23-year-old striker. I believe he's 23 years old, to
mm-hmm,
come and join the team. And then that has now thrown the door open for a potential move out of Lyon for Gift Urban. We hear that there is more than enough interest for him. We hear that there are clubs in the French League One that are looking to sign him. There are clubs
mm-hmm.
abroad looking to sign him. But
Syria.
Smith Lai, yeah, in the Serie A as well. So Smith Lai, for you, what do you think about this situation, and what do you think would be the best, step for Gift Urban to take now?
For me, about Giftovan personally, I think he's not a bad player. Things that happen in the end just happen the way it is, and a lot of people will think that maybe I'm being biased here, where I like him very well. But the issue is this: I think he started on a very bad note in Lyon, and right
Mm,
from when he entered the dressing room, I think he already formed like opinion between the players and everything. I saw the reports. It's very early. I think you also saw this report too very early. So
mm,
he's not a bad player, but I think he just need to change the way he's doing things. So
mm,
um, he joined 6 months ago. He's going to leave. That's not the end of the world. He's a
mm,
fighter. And I think he's going to actually what. I think the most likely move for him is going to Bologna
mm.
in Italian
To
Serie A.
replace
To replace
Zexi.
Lexi, yes. I think that's the most
Mm,
likely move to him. Do I think that's the most likely move for him. I think he will not. He would like to take the challenge. He will play the
mm,
UEFA Champions League for Bologna. So I think that one should suit him better, even than even stay in Lyon. I
mm,
think that Lyon will also even live to regret it that they left him. They let him go
mm.
early.
Smith Lai, I mean, you've been one of Gift Urban's biggest supporters since the beginning. So
Yes,
I like the fact that you're not turning against him yet, because it's
yes,
very easy for people to turn against him after a bad period. But yeah,
yes,
Smith Lai is holding his stock. The
yes.
stock that he has purchased in Gift Urban is holding the stock, even though the stock has lost like maybe 50% of its value.
I'm
when
still
you
holding
bought
for.
it, when you bought it, it was $100 a share. Now it's fifty
Yes,
dollars a share, but
yes,
you are still holding on to it, believing that the value of the stock will still appreciate in the future.
yes, yes.
But let me ask you this: do you think, you say you think he's going to end up in Bologna? So, in
Mm-hmm.
your opinion, should he make a permanent move, or should he go on loan one season and then come back to Lyon and see what happens?
What was he coming back to do in Lyon? Did he forget
Hmm.
anything there? He should just make a permanent move to Bologna and forget. I think that it's a guy that will thrive. He will still not actually will thrive. And I think that Lyon is just a setback. he's still going higher places. To be honest with you, I can see that.
Mm.
So I think a permanent move would be better because when you keep on, it's like you keep on renting houses, going to one. I can't you just get your own, stay in one place and settle down.
Mm.
I think that it's better for Urban to actually settle down. I think he's married. I think he got a baby too. I don't know, maybe I'll prove that.
Is he
Yeah,
married?
I know.
Ah,
I'm not sure if he's
I
married.
saw, I saw one post on Twitter the other day
Yeah.
of Gift Urban, some French Malian singer, some girl like this, Ayana
Hmm.
Kamura,
Yeah.
and Gift Urban was in a comment saying, why don't you want to reply my DM?
Ah.
And people were saying, hey, see our strikeout. Well, so I don't know if he's married though, because it seems
Uh-huh.
like he was shooting his shots publicly only a few days ago. So we have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes. Yes.
so again, somebody is saying give to play now that Abu has gone to Saudi. Another project K7 says the whole Lyon team's performance was poor late last season, and I think people need to understand that team performance can be poor, and
Mm-hmm.
your performance can be poorer.
Before.
The reality of it was that Lyon were struggling when they signed him.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you cannot say they struggled for the whole season. They got better. They
Yes.
obviously got better.
Mm-hmm.
They rose up the table. And frankly, he was just not very good. People will say, oh, his playing time was not a lot. And I agree. But when I play you 45 minutes and you are terrible, I play you
Mm-hmm.
another 30 minutes and you are terrible. How do you give me confidence to now start you?
Mm-hmm.
That's the reality. When he was playing, he was very bad.
Yeah.
Playing time is not the reason why you miss opportunities. Playing
Mm-hmm.
time is not the reason why you can't keep possession. Playing time is not the reason why you're losing the ball and making bad decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that he did not play, so many minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why he didn't play so many minutes is because when he got minutes, he wasn't doing well,
He wasn't doing
So
well.
I wouldn't really use that as an excuse for him. I think, like I'll say, I believe he's a good player. I believe he is definitely better than what he has shown
Mm-hmm.
at Lyon so far. I also think the stocks will appreciate. I don't know if they will appreciate above what they started at, because
Mm-hmm.
initially, it's like if you come out with a new company now and everybody's like, wow, this company is the
Mm-hmm.
future, is this thing, and things go bad. I don't know if he will ever get to that level again, but he is definitely a good striker. I think
Yes.
he can definitely be a steady striker for a team in a top division in Italy or in
Yeah.
France. So I think he will get better for sure. It's only a matter of time. Obviously with more experience. We cannot forget the fact that he is only a very young player that just started his football career.
Career.
So with more experience, with more games, with more competition, I think he would improve. He would
Mm.
improve.
Yes.
Um, okay, let us move on to the next topic. This one we are going to talk about a Super Eagles player, a player that we've discussed in the past. There was a lot of transfer speculation surrounding him. Will he stay? Will he go? What's next for him? But we received official confirmation. And I said I didn't want to give
Mm-hmm.
credit to this guy, but he was right about it. And I have to give him his credit. All Nigeria soccer. I'm talking about Wilfred Ndidi. Wilfred
Mm-hmm.
Ndidi has committed his future to Leicester City in the English Premier League, signing a new 3-year deal with the Premier League club. Of course, Ndidi was part of the Leicester City side that won the AFL Championship last season and gained promotion, right away back to the English Premier League. So now signing a new 3-year deal with the club. I mean, if he's able to stay for the whole 3 years, he would mark a decade, 10 years as a Leicester City player. I mean, we have to say it would be a fantastic achievement for him. While people might not see Leicester as the biggest club, people might not see Ndidi as the best player. It's not very often that we have a Nigerian player that can stay for a long time and be a consistent, starting 11 player for a team in one of these top divisions. Yes, I know they got relegated last season, but for the most part, they've been in the Premier League. Indeed, he has been playing for them. He has been a steady Eddie. We've not really had so many players like that can stay consistently in the team in the English Premier League. All hail the king, John Obi Mikel. But even Obi Mikel was not a consistent starting 11 player. At a point, he was sub player, coming in to close the game, coming in. It was the human final whistle, but indeed he has managed to be a key player for Leicester City. They really wanted him to stay, and he has committed his future to the club. If he can get to 10 years at Leicester City, I think that would be an achievement worthy of notice and celebration. But for you, Smith Layi, what do you think about this decision? What are you expecting from Wilfred Ndidi now that we know he's staying at Leicester?
I think it's more of a family decision. It
Mm,
just I think it's not. I don't think it's footballing reason because if he wants to challenge himself more, I think according to his age now, maybe 27, 28. This is when super is
mm,
where the peak.
27, I think.
27. Yes, this is where like they actually what pick players pick and if you want to try new challenge.
Mm,
So if you are renewed contract, for Leicester City at this time, maybe probably he just wants to stay in the in the with the Leicester stable family and they continue for another 3 years before they actually know what happened. I know
mm,
when you say 10 years, you just mentioned 10 years now. It rang a bell. Maybe 10 years also mean changing different things, changing. Do you understand? So
yeah.
status, changing status, changing everything. So it's a strategic move. So for me, I don't think it's for footballing reason. I think that if it's for footballing reason, you should be moving to like a better club that can actually what challenge. You mentioned that it's going to be 10 years, 10 years of winning championship and also winning FA Cup.
Mm,
For me, he plays for an average club, even
mm,
I would say even below average
mm,
because he got relegated. So that is that. I think that the Mikel Obi you mentioned before, despite that he wasn't playing regularly, he would have commanded a regular shirt too in a team like Leicester City.
mm,
Yes. So, well, what I can say is I wish him the very best of luck. So, um, after this move now, we don't know what is going to be next after, but I think I wish him the very best of luck. But for me, I expect more from him, at
mm,
least to a team playing in Europe, if it's Europa Cup or Conference League, at least just to, you know, like the Aston Villa Newcastle of this world. I was just thinking about that bracket. Let's see maybe can actually what just break into that bracket. But unfortunately, things did not actually I don't know, maybe they did not offer or he's not interested in actually what moving. So, but what I can say is that I wish him the very best of luck.
mm. And let me ask you this question. You're talking about, you think he should have moved to a better club.
Hmm.
Do these better clubs really, really want him? Honest question. Because we know that in the past they've linked him to Man U, they've linked him to Bayern Munich, they've linked him to Barcelona, linked him to all sorts of clubs. Obviously this summer the links were to clubs like Everton, clubs like Aston Villa.
Hmm.
But do you really, really think that these clubs, these better clubs, these big clubs are looking for him?
All those clubs you mentioned before, they are just agent work. All those, they are audio. Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Juventus, all those things are audio. When it mattered most, when it's out of contract, can you see? Clubs like Ipswich Town, clubs like Everton came out. So you can see the brackets of, you know, of clubs that actually was coming for him. For me, maybe it doesn't fit. No, football kept on is evolving all the time. Maybe it doesn't fit to what these clubs want now. Maybe it's a different type of player compared to the ones we actually really actually what need now. So, in my opinion, I just think that maybe the club are just moving away from the player that Wilfred Ndidi is. So that is why that's what I think is actually what the major reason, because at least he proved himself very well in the English Premier League. They went down to the Championship. He couldn't get a move from that. I don't know, maybe it was his decision. He couldn't get a move. He went down with them. He came back again. So I was so embarrassed when you guys when players like James Madison got a move. This guy, the guy in Newcastle, and guy that normally the winger. What's it called again? I forgot. Avi Barnes. He got a move.
Harvey
I was.
Barnes.
We know
But
that.
but 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 Smilai, let me ask you. You know that it is different. Goal scorers are always more highly rated than
Mhm,
defensive players. I mean, when
mhm,
you mention a player like Harvey Barnes, you mention a player
mhm,
like James Madison.
mhm.
Madison is a player that will get you, six,
What, what,
7 goals,
what about
eight
Yori
eight
Tillemans?
assists. Tilleman is also a midfielder, but he's a player that contributes a lot in attack.
Mhm,
He's a player that can move the ball forward. And
mhm,
until this season, this past season under Enzo Maresca,
Mm-hmm.
Ndidi did not show for Leicester City that he can be a player that impacts the attack. Under
Mm-hmm.
Maresca, we saw him score goals that he hasn't scored before. We saw him get
Mm-hmm.
assists that he hasn't got before. So he has shown a little bit more now. But as of when they got relegated, you know, it, I don't think any team was really looking for another DM per se like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's always easier for you score 10 goals, you get a move. You score 12 goals, you get a move. That's the reason why a player like Emmanuel Dennis
Mm-hmm.
was able to get a move when he got relegated as well. Because a team just look at you that, okay, if this guy can get me 10, 12 goals, I have nothing to worry about. And that's the kind of player that Madison is. Harvey Barnes is a player that contributes in the attack. And again, they are English players, so there's that homegrown quota that helps the club to make the decision. And hey, there are also players that are younger and have, more years for the club to reap the fruit of their labor. But let me just go to the comments very quickly and see what our audience or people are saying about this. I see Elite or Elite, I'm not sure which one it is, says Ndidi shouldn't have re-signed with Leicester. He should have gone to Saudi League. India has passed the age of becoming better. He can't improve again. He said he needs to secure the bag now. I mean, Ndidi did not tell you that he doesn't have enough in his bank account. I understand what you're saying about should have gone to Leicester, but
Mm-hmm.
like Smith Layi said, it's also a future decision and a family decision. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how close he is to becoming a British citizen and things like that. But if he has to do 2 more years in England to get his money, he will now go and chase money in Saudi. Then when he's done making the money in Saudi, he'll gonna have to spend it in Nigeria. you know. So that could obviously have been one of the factors behind it. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, if he has an opportunity to make money, um, why not go and make money? Adegbola Temitope says, I'm sorry to say I don't like Wilfred stay in Leicester City because I expect more from him. I think it's all about money. I'm sorry to say I don't like Ididi. I think it's all about money. Okay, so Adegbola is saying he thinks Ndidi stayed at Leicester City because of money. I mean, I don't know how much I would agree with that. I don't know how much he's making at Leicester City, but I mean, Leicester City is not one of the top paying clubs in the world like that, or top paying clubs in England. Maybe he's making 25, 30K a week, thereabouts. Um, but yeah, that is the opinion of Adegbola Temitope. Okay, in the absence of more comments, let
So
us
Zion was referring to Evans got the move. Johnny Evans.
Johnny Evans. That one is nepotism. when you look at Johnny Evans and you watch him play, should he
Mm-hmm.
really be playing for Manchester United? Let's be honest with ourselves now. Should he really be playing for Manchester United?
Mm-hmm.
Even when Johnny Evans was at his best, when he was at Manchester United earlier, he did not look like he was supposed to be there. It's now that the man is old that they not. It's just connections. He used to come back. Which again, hey, I cannot even knock him for that. We always tell our Nigerian players, while you are in Europe, while you are at all these clubs, you have to make valuable connections. You have to make an impact so that in the future, when you need something, you can call on them. Because almost how many Nigerian players can at 33 can just call a club and say, you know what, I'll sit on the bench, I will train the young players, I will be an inspiration to them, and you just give me minutes here and there. It's not a lot of them that can do it. So, but Johnny Evans is not like he's some fantastic player. Now on a connection, he just get that transfer. Um, Okay, shout out to everyone that's tuning in. I see all of you guys. X is still by far the most popular platform. Shout out to you guys on Twitter. Um, Tell Elon to pay us our money. Shout out to everyone on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, please, please, please make sure you like the video. We only have 9 likes on YouTube, guys. Only 9 likes on YouTube. I know that we can do a lot better than that. Please take a second to just click the like button. It's completely free. If you want to spend your money, you can send a super chat, but liking is free, please, guys. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like the video. Please, please, please. It helps the algorithm, it helps the platform to know that we're doing good stuff so that more people can watch, more people can enjoy the content, and so that we can grow and keep on bringing you guys high quality content. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, let us move on. Let us move on to another conversation. So this one is probably a topic that maybe for the past 4 weeks, every week now we are discussing this guy. We're discussing whether for good reasons or for bad reasons. We are discussing this guy for almost 2 months now. Sir. I'm talking about Victor James Osimhen. Osimhen, of course, has an agreement with his club Napoli in the Serie A that they would let him move, they would let him leave. But things have not quite happened yet. Of course, there are reports about teams being interested, one thing or the other. But as of today, Osimhen is currently in preseason training. In fact, he played a friendly. He played a friendly for Napoli today. In fact, he played a friendly for Napoli today. So he's getting on with it. He's waiting for what is going to happen. But as of the latest information that we have, we hear that PSG and Chelsea are two strong contenders for him. PSG need to sell a striker first, is the word that we're hearing. They need to offload somebody to make way for Victor Osimhen. Whereas with Chelsea, they're saying that Chelsea are just unwilling to pay the financial package that is currently being put in front of them for Victor Osimhen. I believe that the current demand is about 80 million, 90 million euros, and Osimhen's representatives are asking for about 12 million euros in wages net, which will bring him to about 210, 220,000 a week, thereabouts. And Chelsea are just saying, hey, I'm sorry, we cannot pay that kind of money. So something is going to have to give. Either Osimhen's representatives and Napoli are going to say, okay, you know what, we are just going to take a cut price, sign this guy. His agent is just going to say, okay, we want the best for him. We want him to progress to play at a higher level. So we'll accept lower wages. But it's a very interesting one to keep watching. I believe Osimhen is on about 9.5 million euro a year now at Napoli, net. So asking for 12.5 is I mean, 12 million is a jump. I'm not saying he's not worth it, but hey, clubs are really trying to maintain their wage structure. Clubs are really trying to, um, stick within the boundaries of financial fair play. So if they're going to pay that kind of money right now, it has to be a player that they are 1,000% sure of, and 1,000% believe in. And I think the financial this thing is just not quite working for them right now. But Smith, like, what's your opinions on this potential move? Where should Osimhen go? What is the best option for him right now? What do you think?
So for me, I think there's likely going to be a transfer merry-go-round, involving Victor Osimhen, because just about yesterday or 2 days ago, that we realized that Alvaro Morata, the European champion, will be moving, will be leaving Atletico Madrid and joining AC Milan. So, but I think that Atletico, they're looking forward to see maybe they can actually get Kulu
Mm.
from PSG. So if Atletico got Kolomwani from PSG, there's going to be space, for a new striker to actually come, which is likely going to be James Victor Osimhen. So, and Atletico Madrid too, they're also looking. So Chelsea now, so that means that Lukaku now can now go to Napoli. Then
Napoli.
they will now be space for Omoridion, the guy.
Mm.
I don't forget from Atletico.
Samu Amorodion.
Moridion to join Chelsea. So it's like what's going to happen is like a transfer merry-go-round. But I think that according to Fabrizio Di Marzio, the Italian guy, not Fabrizio Romano,
Gianluca Di Marzio.
Di Marzio, yeah. At first, when he was discussing yesterday, is one of our friends here sent me the live video. He came to that city to talk and he spoke about Osimhen. Said that Osimhen to PSG it won't be it will soon be here we go.
Hmm.
That's what he said.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Let's see where he ends up.
Mhm.
Let's see where he ends up. It's okay. Somebody says Awola 24 says truth is Osimhen's off the pitch attitude is what's making it difficult to get a decent move for him. I disagree with that.
Just
I
agree with
disagree
that.
with that. I don't think that clubs are really looking at his off the pitch attitude as a this thing now. I mean, I wouldn't say they completely ignore things like that, but I don't think that's the reason why somebody will say, "Oh, he's not getting a move." right now. Shout out to Real K for the super chat. I see you. Real K says, "Great job, guys. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you, of course." MySpace, please. Thank you for correcting me. Yes, Osimhen did not play in Napoli's friendly today. He was on the bench, but he did not. He did not eventually come on. Yes, MySpace, please. Thank you for correcting me on that one. He didn't come on. He didn't come on. Um, Let me see. Real cases. Some people said Osimhen is the new Belotti. I hope not for his sake.
Mm-hmm.
Ayamo says let them pay him his worth. Why will Chelsea be paying some players higher wage and they are not measuring up to that amount? I hear you, Ayamo. I'm all for our players getting paid what they are worth and not being undervalued. But I will tell you this, maybe partly because I'm a Chelsea fan and I know some of the things that the club has been trying to do. The club has really been trying to restructure the whole wage structure at the club. You know, they've been trying to cut players that are on crazy salaries, trying to let some of them go, trying to bring down the wages as much as possible. Even the newer signings, the signings that joined Chelsea last season, you'll be surprised a lot of them are not making those kinds of money that you would normally expect Chelsea to be paying players. So I think it's, with financial fair play becoming stricter, clubs have to make it's they can only make so much loss in a year. People are just becoming more and more conscious about how much money they are spending, whether it's on transfers or on players or on wages. So I don't know. It's a bit of both for me. Maybe part of it might be the fact that they don't truly believe in him like that. But I think part of it is also the fact that they just don't want to pay players. Because if you pay Osimhen, say Osimhen joins Chelsea today and they pay him 250K a week, for example, any other player that is of a high profile that is joining is going to also ask for 250 plus. And that's the way it works. When you start paying players a certain amount, anybody else that is coming is going to say, if you are paying this guy this amount, why would you pay me less than that? And that's going to be a revolving, and a continuous effect. And that's what clubs are trying to reduce a little bit. So yeah, we wish him all the best. I almost say Osimhen is a complete professional. He gives his best to all the team. That complete professional term, I don't know if I'll use that term, but he gives his best to his team. I completely agree with that. I don't think Osimhen is a complete professional. But yeah, I understand where you're saying. Bad boy Sammy says clubs will be happy if Osimhen isn't going to be playing AFCON in January. That's another factor that unfortunately actually sometimes works against our African players. You sign a player like Osimhen for big money, you pay him big wages, and you know that every 2 years you're going to lose him for at least 1 month. And that's combined with the injuries that Osimhen will get. Because I'm not trying to curse him. Osimhen is just a player that tends to get injured at least once every season. So um, it would be interesting. It would be interesting. So yeah, the bus stop if we need it won't matter to them. I completely agree. That's not their issue. Let him figure his issue out with the Nigerian Football Federation. It's not any of the club's issues. Abdul Jalil says let him join PSG and he will dominate there and win the golden boots with a lot of trophies as well. I agree. If he joins PSG, it's going to be fairly, easy road to titles for him. It's going to be fair, like they'll win the league one. That one, nobody's winning league one except PSG. He'll probably score the most goals as their number nine.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll play in the Champions League. So it's going to be fairly easy. Of course, if he goes to a team like Chelsea, his competition, man, is a fight. Yeah, fighting in Chelsea right now are not the biggest team, are not as competitive as they were some 8-10 years ago. So it's obviously going to be a fight to carry the club to the level that um the club wants to be at. So it's going to be interesting. But whatever decision he makes, I think we're going to be wishing him all the best. We are going to be supporting him. I just hope that he makes the right decision for his career. He's already making a lot of money. I don't want, in my opinion, I don't want finances to be the deciding factor for him. Unless I will just give this caveat, unless it is life-changing money. If it is money that his children will not have to work in their life, me, I'm all in support. I cannot even lie to anybody. If you come and offer me 100 million contracts today, I will forget all my competition. I will go and make that 100 million. But other than that kind of life-changing money, like the kind of money that we were hearing from Saudi before. That's the kind of money that I'm in support. Chase the bag. But if it's the 250K a week, 300K a week, that is already close to maybe 1 million, 2 million more than what you currently earn. You know, it's not like you are a poor guy already. You know, 1 million more is good money, yes, but is it really money that you can not do without? You know, things like that. 1 million extra is not going to change the trajectory of your children. It's not going to change your future. 1 million extra for people like us, it will do a lot. But 1 million extra for people like Osimhen, how much is it really going to change his life? You know, things like that. So I would say let's finances not be the main consideration when he's making this decision. Somebody says, will he bench Goncalo Ramos? Yes, he will bench Goncalo Ramos. Please, I beg. Who are we? Let's not even be asking that kind of question. Okay, so Smith Layi, any final word on Victor Osimhen and this
No,
potential move?
I guess I know that he's gonna move. So and move is imminent. So don't worry, it's gonna be here. We go very soon.
Hmm. Okay, we await the news on Victor Osimhen. And I just remembered, speaking of, we spoke about Benjamin Tamino earlier, or Tanimo. I'm going to be doing an interview with him, so you guys should watch out for that. So all these things that people are saying about him, I'll ask him and hear what he
Yeah.
has to. I hear what he has to say. You know,
Mm-hmm.
whether he believes that he was really supposed to be in the Super Eagles, you know, things like that. I'm going to ask him. So watch out for that. In the next few weeks, that interview with Benjamin Tanimo should be on our YouTube channel. So make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel if you are not already. And please, speaking of YouTube, guys, please continue to like the video. We're still only on 27 likes. We can do a lot better than that. We really appreciate you. And for people that are watching on all platforms, I appreciate you guys as well. Um, okay, XXX says, I don't think Osimhen will go to PSG. He won't like to play against Summer Club.
Go
I beg.
later. Yeah.
What is that one? What is stopping him? He will play and he will score. Maybe he will not celebrate, but that's as far as
Okay.
it will go.
Uh-huh.
But why won't he play against Lille?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like he was there for 10 years or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. 1 year.
Um, okay. Okay. So let's move on to another conversation that is more multifaceted. A conversation that we've been talking about for a long time, but now things seem to be narrowing down more every single day. I'm talking about the Super Eagles head coaching job. Of course, everybody that's watching or listening should be aware of the fact that the Super Eagles of Nigeria have been without a head coach since Finidi George stepped down from the role after only 2 games in charge. And the NFF and the sports ministry have been working hard. I believe they've been working hard to try to get a new coach on board, to try to get somebody. The sports minister has said that whoever the new coach is, he needs it to be somebody that his name alone can inspire Nigerians. His name alone can inspire Nigerians. And we have 4 names. How much they inspire Nigerians, I'll let you guys decide. Those 4 names that we've been hearing, we have Eric Chell, we have Steve McLaren, we have Tom Sanfier, and we have Herve Renard. 4 coaches. I'll talk a little bit more about each of them, but I'll first ask this question: when you guys hear those 4 names, do you feel inspired? Smith, like when you hear those 4 names, do you feel inspired?
In fact, the only name that I can hear here that can make me inspire is the name of Ave Renard.
Hmm.
In fact, hearing name of Chile, the former coach of Mali, make me depressed. Hearing name of Steve McLaren, in fact, make me lose interest in football. Hearing names like even Tom, with due respect to some Santi former and former Gambia coach, it makes me sad that
Hmm.
this is what we actually want, you know, going for. It makes me sad.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. I see somebody is saying Steve McLaren is a no African experience. Um, somebody's I would say working hard to get the Gambian coach. Someone said this crying coach we don't want. So for people that might not be aware, Eric Chell, I don't know how to pronounce his name, forgive me, Chelle, I'm not sure. But
Chele.
Chelle is the former Mali coach. And if you don't know him, just remember when Mali, when they were pouring cold water on somebody on somebody's neck during the AFCON, when they had to cool his head down. That's the
Mm-hmm.
guy.
That's the guy.
I saw a post from Big Daf today. Shout out to Big Daf. Big Daf said, Omo, if ordinary Mali for AFCON, they need to cool this guy head. Once Nigeria starts with him like this, can he handle the heat?
He can't do
because
the heat, though.
because Nigerian fans or Nigerian media, once they start to come for you like this, it will need a whole ice bath. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting. But just to talk about some of these names a little bit. So Javier Renard, I mean, we've spoken about him on the podcast a number of times already. Two-time AFCON winner. Is currently the coach of France women's team. And is going to the Olympics. For Tom Saint-Fair, we have him. He's a Belgian. He is the current coach of the Philippines. So I don't know. Take that for what you want. But
Mm-hmm.
he coached Gambia rather from
Mm-hmm.
2018 until 2024. Um,
Mm-hmm.
if you look at his record, he has been coaching for a long time, and the one trophy that he has won is the Kagame Interclub Cup in 2012. The Kagame Interclub Cup. He won it with Yanga of Tanzania.
Mm-hmm.
So that's his record, Kagame Interclub Cup. We have
Mm-hmm.
Steve McLaren. Steve McLaren, of course, he's English. He's the former England coach.
Mm-hmm.
He has been inactive as a head coach since 2019.
Mm-hmm.
But he is a current assistant coach under Eric Ten Hag at
Mm-hmm.
Manchester United.
Mm-hmm.
So experienced coach, no African experience, currently as an assistant. He has won the League Cup in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
And then he has also won the Eredivisie in
Mm-hmm.
2010 with, I believe it was FC20. So at
Mm-hmm.
least McLaren has won some competitions that we know in his
Mm-hmm.
own career. And then yeah, we have Eric Chelle, who we spoke about, was the coach of Mali at the just concluded or the 2024 AFCON. I mean, he also was a professional footballer, played as a center back in his day. When you look at his managerial career, if I start calling the clubs that he has managed now, I'm not sure if he will know any of those any of those clubs before he managed Mali. As far as career honors, he has none to boast of.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. Before he got the Mali job, the last
Mm-hmm.
club he was coaching, they
Mm-hmm.
sacked him because he was on a very poor run of form. So again,
Mm-hmm.
when we hear these names, I don't know how much they inspire Nigerians,
Mm-hmm.
but that's all we see, Amomo. Those are the current options that we have. This Heavy Renard, he's the only one that seems to be exciting people, but then can we afford to pay him? Is Heavy
Mm-hmm.
Renard willing to come and take a job that he might be owed salary for 6, 7, even 10 months at a time?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, Smith, like, what do you just have to say about this whole merry-go-round that we are on with this coaching thing?
Let me just talk about Chile, the former Mali coach. I've been hearing conversations that it's a good candidate. He's been backed by the one former NFF president, which are not name withheld. He's been backed by that person that he beats Africa 2-0. Say make we go for him. Say it dismantles Africa. So are we going for a coach because he beats Africa? What about Madagascar? We know if he beat for World Cup qualifier. So I know sometimes it makes me sad that this is actually what we actually is what we are just going for. For me, his record as a coach does not speak well. I think one of his best games as a coach he was when he played against Finidi George, and and he outcoached Finidi George from first half to second half. At least he's better than Finidi George. So for me, I don't know how they want to actually do it. He said he said how much it's going to take. He's a low budget coach. And so advantage is that he's going to start the job immediately.
Mm.
And he's going to actually he's going to live in Nigeria. He's going to bring his people. He's going to, they're very cheap. Like they don't have, in fact, they don't even care. They can hold them salary. So, and for Tom Satterfield, it's a journeyman. He has been, in fact, that man self, be like say, I don't know, now Africa. I remember him from the days of Stephen Keshi. He was the coach of Malawi then, or was it Malawi? So he has been coach of Zimbabwe, Togo, everywhere. In fact,
He's a
all
journeyman in Africa.
he's a journeyman. All the hooks and crans of Africa, he has been there. So, and his lifetime achievement, lifetime goal is to coach Super Eagles of Nigeria. Everybody just likes the Super Eagles to be like a testing ground.
Hmm.
So that's what he actually wanted. A player have been coach have been paying 5K for all this. He's a journeyman. What do you expect? You are coaching teams like Togo or clubs in Africa. They will pay you that amount. So
Hmm.
he's the current coach of Philippines, and he says he's going to resign from that job and take the Super Eagles. That one, those people too, they will carry and go FIFA because it'll be easy. So it's just there, and the person, Steve McLaren, for me, is a no because he doesn't have any experience about African football. He's also another coach that is, I call him a privileged coach because he's just a coach because of what people really know about him. I don't think I himself already. I think remember I think he won the League Cup in 2004. Maybe he was a coach. Maybe Yakuba Egbin himself was his player then. I don't know. So
Yeah, I think so.
maybe because I think it was with Middlesbrough. Maybe Yakuba Egbin was his player then. That is a long time ago. That's a long time ago.
Hey, he won the Eredivisie in 2010 though.
Eh,
With
in 2010, how many years ago? 14. 14 years ago. 14 years ago. Like we are talking about, no. That's too much. And for him not to get a job, even championship job in England, he was coach of QPR. We know what he did with QPR. He was
yeah.
poor managing QPR. So, in my own opinion, I think the NFF already have a coach that they want to
Mm.
give the job. So anyone they do now, I don't really care anymore because
Mm.
small time now they will come out with the list of short list of players with maybe they just say Jurgen Klopp. You will hear Jurgen Klopp. You will hear which coach again? Gareth Southgate. They will now add Chile there as people they nominated. And when they now do the interview, it's going to be Chile that will now win, that will now pass the interview. The NFF the way that normally do. So, in my own opinion, I think they have a coach they want to actually take, but time is going because we have a very crucial, Afcon qualifier in September, which I think, if we if we lose that, it's another problem for Nigeria.
Mm. I mean, you've said a lot. Let me just see what audience people are saying as well. Wiki Tare says Eric Chele has a very strong pressing tactic. Hmm. Abdul Samad Kabir says, let's try Coach Yusuf. I reserve my comment on that one. Munyi King says they'll likely go for McLaren. Hmm.
Mhm.
Let me see what else. Right, Fobi says, why are we recycling? Um, Wikitare says, meaning at this rate, Philip Trozier won't have had a chance with Nigeria. So I
Mhm.
think he's saying the way we're talking down this coach is that Trozier would not have had a chance with Nigeria. Daniel says we can pay him 5 million naira monthly. Coaching Super Eagles is like getting American visa to these coaches. talking about Eric Kelly. Um, so some funny, interesting comments there. If you'd like to call in and share your thoughts, if you'd like to join the show, the link has now been posted across platforms. Just make sure you have a good mic. Make sure you have a camera. Make sure you are well dressed, and we will bring you on in a bit. But the link has been posted on all platforms now. So if you'd like to call in and join the program, just get ready. We are going to round up in about 19 minutes. Um, okay, we still have some more comments. Somebody says, "Have Renard is going to the USA." I don't know. Um, Somebody says, "Real case says Thompson Fiat is not bad too." Hmm. Elite 89 says, "But if I have a choice to pick, I will always prefer the present Angola coach. He is a good low budget tactical coach. I believe the Angolan coach is Pedro Goncalves.
Mhm.
I think that's the current Angolan coach. So he's saying he's a good low budget tactical coach." John Jones says Renard is too expensive. Chika is saying there's one South African coach, CC or something. I think Nigerians should have gone for him, or better still, Jose Pesero. I think maybe you're talking about Pizzo Musimane.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Musimane was one of the names that was being mentioned earlier, long time ago, but it seems to have dwindled in terms of the rumors and the reports. John Jones says Chele's Mali was not that bad. He did well with Mali. Just pick a coach so that we can start preparing for AFCON qualifiers. So he's saying Chele is not that bad. Just employ somebody. let's let's get him moving. Adegbola Temitope says, for me, I'm not interested with all these names. If I have my way, I will give Emmanuel Amunike the job. Okay. Um, Enameka says the NFF would find it difficult to maintain Renard's salary. It's better to hire Pesero, but they would hire Steve. Okay. Um, Henry says, why is NFF not bold enough to pick a coach and back him publicly? I mean, the last coach they backed publicly. you see how it you see how it went because I mean they backed Finidi up now. They backed him publicly. Everything. Um, let me see. Monsieur Ogubade says, which one is well dressed? Are we auditioning for a role with Iti Law? Um, okay. Ken Aaron says, I will likely add Sebastian Dabari. He's the new Herve Renard. Okay, lots of interesting comments, lot of interesting names that are coming to the conversation. Smedai, I'll ask you this question. What do you have to say to someone that says, hey, why don't we go with Salisu Yusuf? Why don't we go with Emmanuel Amunike? Why don't we go with Samson Siasia? What do you have to say to those people?
I think first, as I see, Yusuf should not even be mentioned. His last job as an NFF and MPFL coach, he coached Kano Pillars to relegation. Kano Pillars that's not relegated in there, God knows when. So for me, that person I think he's just joking. We're not joking here. Salisu Yusuf, in fact, should not even be, should not near any national team again. For Amuneke, see, today, Gary Southgate left his job. Gary Neville did not say he wants to come and coach England, though. So, if people that are talking about coaching, I want to coach England, maybe out of job 1 year or currently still in job, that is what we should be talking about. If Amuneke wants to be the coach of Nigeria now, Amuneke should get a job and prove himself. It's not been working. So why can't Gary Neville or Alan Shearer say they want to go and coach England? But they have coached Valencia now. Gary Neville coached Valencia before now. Why can't he come and say he wants to go and coach England? So we should not be selfish with this thing. Please. Because it's Nigeria, does not mean we should spoil everything. Let's pick the most qualified candidates. Siasia is banned. If Siasia go and send the application, they will increase his ban. You better stay there. His ban will expire in August. And even NFF can even implicate him. So he's not even in the running. And I'm hearing rumors that it might be the next coach of the under-20.
I will say, for me, I've said this in the past. People said, oh, it's a bit disrespectful to make a comment like that. You shouldn't say this, you shouldn't say that. Emmanuel Amunike, I like him as a man, all due respect to him. But I can never, in good faith, I can never be in support of a coach that just feels like, yeah, it doesn't matter if I'm working or not. Let me just stay at home. Let me just wait for when Super Eagles is desperate and looking for somebody, and then I can come and coach them. And that's one of the reasons why, even though Finidi George did not work out for the Super Eagles, I give him credit. I give him, he has some of my respect because, yes, okay, he had to leave the Super Eagles job, but what did he do? He immediately went and got another job somewhere. He didn't say, okay, because Super Eagles sacked me, I'm going to sit down at home. And maybe in another 5 years, when Super Eagles are desperate, I'll come and say I'm going to take the job again. So I would disagree with people that are asking for someone like Amunike. I also think that we shouldn't just give the job to somebody for giving sake. We should try to hire somebody that we actually believe can take us forward. Because while you might say, oh, we need a coach, we need to get somebody right, I think it can even potentially do more damage for us if maybe we hire another coach now. He plays 2 matches in September. The next thing, they're letting him go again and they're bringing somebody else. These players need a little bit of stability. All this chopping and changing is making things difficult for us. But yes, let's just quickly talk about the Super Falcons. Very, very quickly before we bring on the first caller. Thanks to everyone that has joined the queue so far. I'll bring you guys on in a bit. So Smith Layi, of course, the Olympic Games coming up in France, it's tagged the Paris Olympics, but so far, none of our 3 games is actually going to be in Paris. I think we're playing 1 game in Bordeaux and 2 games in Nantes. But the Super Falcons have an upcoming test match, a friendly match against the defending Olympic champions Canada on July 17th. So that is tomorrow. Um, what's what can we say very quickly? I mean, this game is going to be a closed door friendly, so we might not get the chance to watch it. I don't think we'll watch it. Even if it was open friendly, NFF know they stream match. But they say it's a closed door friendly, so we'll probably just hear the result and hear who scored, who did not score. But Smith, like, just very quickly, what are your thoughts on this friendly match? Is it enough preparation for the Super Falcons going to these Olympics?
I think it's good. At least they get goal one. So it's a tactical friendly game. That's what they call it, a tactical
Mm,
friendly game. So I don't think the two countries will be coming with attack who's, it's just
mm,
to test out their systems to see how it can actually work. I saw Canada play against Australia in a friendly game.
mm.
Very very good friendly game was live on Australia TV. So in my own opinion, I think it's not a bad warm up. I just think that the guests you tread carefully, because of injury.
Mm. All
Yes.
right, all right. I wish the Super Falcons all the best. We'll see how that game goes, the friendly game, and then of course we look forward to the upcoming matches at the Olympics. Of course, Smith Lai, we need to discuss this behind the scenes, but we need to record our preview for the for the 3 teams in the group. Maybe we'll record that later this week. And of course the videos will be on our social media leading up to the first match against Brazil on the 25th, just over a week now. Okay, but we have some people waiting to call in. So please, I'll give everybody about 2-3 minutes just to get your thoughts in. And let's keep it moving so that we can take as many people as possible. The first to join was Temitokbe. Temitokbe, thank you for joining.
We
We
can't
can't
hear
hear you.
you.
We can't hear you.
Oh.
Okay. I think Temitokbe is having audio issues. If you can fix it and then we can bring you back on. We also have TCO. TCO, thank you for joining.
Thanks, guys, for having me. Good evening. I'm in Nigeria, so I'm not sure exactly where you guys are, but good evening from Nigeria.
Yes.
Um,
Well, as I was going to say, I'm in Canada. Smith is in the UK. But
oh,
yes,
okay.
thank you for joining. What do you
Okay.
want to talk about very quickly today?
Um, Firstly, let me touch on the Javier Renard, Steve McLaren, and these coaches as options for Super Eagles. I think that let the NFF just go to the sport ministry via the sports ministry, get to Tinubu and beg for money, because that's exactly what happened last time. Before the AFCON, the NFF, through the sports ministry, went to Tinubu, and Tinubu signed about 12 billion naira for them to cover a lot of costs that the NFF, had, in terms of backlog. So they used to pay all the bonuses that they owed and all of these things. And that was how
Mm,
they, got into the AFCON with a clean slate. The Super Falcons, the under 23 or whatever, under 20 whatever. I think that's what they need to do right now. Because if you look at it from the players' perspective, from the administrative perspective, and from the coaching perspective, I think that the administrative perspective, I think they've done all right. I mean, for
mm,
example, if you look at the last World Cup, the 2022 one that we did not go, the NFF did all they could to make sure those boys qualified, but they didn't
mm,
qualify. What was the issue? I think it was in the coaching aspect. Eguavon, right? So I think it's the same case now. Yes, the players they still have some blame, because if you look at the matches we play against South Africa and Benin Republic, I mean, even if your coach is not, Pep Guardiola, you as the players yourself, you have to, ginger yourself, and I didn't really see it there, right? But I think
mm,
that the coaching area is the main aspect that the problem is, and if they've identified this as the case, they should just go and meet the federal government and just ask for money. That's just the plain simple truth, right?
mm,
And ultimately go for, hopefully, Javier Renard, even though that seems slim now, because I'm hearing that USA is also in the race for Javier Renard. So I think that that's what the NFF should do, just try and get money from the federal government. And with
mm,
regards to Osimhen, I think that Osimhen, listen, I think he's a very good player. CAF player of the year. Africa best currently everything. But don't go to Chelsea, man. Don't go to Chelsea. As a Nigerian brother, from me to you, I don't want to use the forbidden word that you shouldn't say around Osimhen fans, that is overrated and all of that. Osimhen is very good and all of that. But listen, as a brother, don't go to Chelsea. I think that's where your career is going to really, take a dip. Just rather go to PSG, make money, win titles and all of that. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, thank you very much, TCO. Thank you for joining and sharing your thoughts. We appreciate you. Okay, some interesting thoughts there on the Super Eagles coaching job. I believe that they are already begging the federal government, though. So that part is already being done. But yeah, interesting comment about Osimhen as well. He thinks Osimhen should go to PSG. Okay, next guest we have Ademola. Ademola, thank you for joining the program.
Yeah, thank you guys for bringing me in. I will be brief now, very, very, very brief. Now I would say Osimhen is that player that plays with passion and zeal, and if he didn't go to Chelsea, that one is a no for him. If Arsenal is okay. I mean, Mario fan, is a no for him. So if
Sorry,
he's going to PSG,
what do you guys have against Chelsea?
no, his career will just die there at Chelsea. I'm telling you the truth. So she don't make any attempt of joining Chelsea for now, for now. Then PSG is okay. Let him go and win the French league. Let him play in Champions League at least quarterfinal or semi-final. And who knows, they might, they kind of try to win it against Real Madrid. Who knows? So let him go there. That's a very good option for him. And to the NFF, what are we doing with all our sponsors? You see Tom Pom, you see this oil company, you see that. Where are the money is going through? Who is chopping all the money? Every day they are broke, they are broke, they are broke. This shouldn't be. But about the coach, I would say they should go for high caliber coach, please. High caliber coach, not the right of what's it called, my client or so. We need like a good coach with stronger mentality that can motivate those guys. Check what they play under Finidi. Nonsense. They were not committed because the coach too is not that a big coach, quote and unquote. Now, with no disrespect to Finidi anyway. Hello,
Yeah,
hello.
we can hear you. Yeah,
I
go
hear
on.
you.
We can
So,
hear you.
with no disrespect to Finidi George, is an icon. Is a star in Nigeria. He has played the World Cup, played in the European League. Yes, good, but he cannot really handle Super Eagles. Super Eagles. Check all our players like Osimhen, players like Ndidi. No, we need a big coach with high caliber. So we shouldn't go for any low budget coach for now, and that's it.
All right. The only thing that
Thank you.
I disagree with you on that Osimhen's career would die at Chelsea, because the Nicholas Jackson's career died. Chelsea. I mean, if you include the English press, the media hype that you will get from playing in England, again, I think it all depends on how he performs on the pitch. And I mean, I will say, PSG is obviously a very good club, but there's going to be a lot of pressure if he goes to PSG. Just realistically, they've just lost
No,
their
you
they've
see,
sorry, they've just lost the face of their whole country in Kylian Mbappe. So if Osimhen goes to PSG, they are going to be looking at him to come and at least give
of
them
course, of
close
course.
to what they were getting from Mbappe. So I'm not saying he can't
Yes,
do it,
yes.
but there'll be a lot of pressure. Well,
No,
I mean,
yes, 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 yes. You are right, but he has played in French league before,
yes, he
so
has.
it's
Yeah.
like it's like a familiar terrain for him. So I believe he will strive hard and be more greater than the student that we know now.
All right, all right.
Okay,
Thank you very much,
okay,
Mr. Demola. Thank you
okay.
for
Bye
sharing your
bye.
thoughts. Nice to hear from you.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Smith Layi, so everybody is saying that Osimhen's career would die at Chelsea.
I don't know where they got that one from. But
Okay. Let's see. Okay. I see that we have Temitope back. Temitope, I hope your audio is working now. Um, hello.
Hello, can you
Yes,
hear me
we can
now?
hear you now. Yes.
I think Osimhen should go to his best club that he wants to go to. I don't care about going to. I'm a Chelsea fan. I don't care about going to Chelsea. That's fine. For Super Falcons, I them best of luck tomorrow for that friendly match. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
And for the teaching job, and if whenever they're not sure at all. He was coach. I play whenever in my second. He was our coach. That's what I want to say about the everything. Well done. I'm enjoying the program every day. Thank you very much for this program. I'm enjoying it. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for
Good night.
joining. We really appreciate you. Have a good night. Yes. Shout out to Tim Topper. I remember he came on last week as well. I appreciate people that always watch, always engage with us.
Engage.
I really, really appreciate you guys. If you guys don't engage, we'll probably not be doing this program.
Yes.
So thank you. I see we have one more caller, but please turn on your camera so that I can bring you on.
Wear your clothes.
If not, we'll wrap up in the next 2 minutes. So if you want to come on, please turn on your camera and I can bring you on. Let me just look at the comments very quickly to see what people are saying. Kojobi says that is the plan. So the plan is to ask NFF, ask the federal government for money. NFF cannot afford to pay a top coach. Babs Bami says give NFF money and they spend it on. I don't want to make that note come for me. Ola Lucas says NFF no get accountability, they will spend it anyhow. Daniel says I don't agree his career will take a dip at Chelsea. Osimhen can play in any top team in the world and he will be fine. Ola Lucas doesn't want Osimhen to go to Chelsea or Manchester United. So yeah. We also have some comments on YouTube. Real Case says Osimhen will be a big hit at Chelsea. No Nigerian manager is good enough to be Super Eagles coach. Bola Adetunji says, why would his career not die at PSG but Chelsea? What is the admission and management problem in Chelsea, please? So I think he's disagreeing with those people's comments. Peter Akeredolu says, until we wake up from our slumber and realize that no foreign manager can coach Super Eagles, the better for us. A long-term project for indigenous coach is the way out. In theory, what you're saying makes sense, but when you come to real life, whether foreign or local, they're not going to give anybody long-term projects. We know how Nigerians are. We need to win now. We need to win today. Jose Pesero got to the AFCON final and Nigerians turned against him because he's playing too defensive. So you think they will give anybody 5 years to try to win something, to maybe win something? Realistically, that's not going to happen, man. That's not going to happen. Real cases, a Chelsea front three of Nkuku, Osimhen, Madueke with Kopama, Enzo, and Ecuadorian, that's Caicedo in midfield, will be lit. We're currently not supporting Enzo Fernandez, so I will not talk too much about him. But Enzo Fernandez is on our bad books as of right now. You guys probably already know what I'm talking about. Bode Adetunji says before Osimhen goes anywhere, he should provide a set of players to be playing with before signing any contract. He should identify a team that has the set of players who can support him. Okay, so well said. Rajo, are you there? Is your camera on? We have 2 minutes, so if you want to come on, please turn on your camera ASAP and I'll bring you on. Rajo, are you there? Turn on your camera or final call for you. Okay, it seems like he has gone to the other room. So Smith Layi, final thoughts on today. So we've discussed potential transfers, we've discussed the Super Eagles coaching role. What do you have to say to round off today?
It's just I wish the Falcons the best of luck today. They're going to be playing today now, and so because it's already the next day in the UK. So I wish them the very best of luck, and that's the final game for Brazil. So let's go, girls. Come on, Falcons. And I want to also appreciate our listeners, those engaging. Thank you very much. Because it's because of you, that's why we're here. I really actually appreciate you.
Yes, and I would also say, wishing our players that made transfers, Echegini or Shaw, wishing them all the best. Ndidi with his new contract at Leicester City, hoping that he's able to have a good season in the English Premier League. Of course, Osimhen, we are closely watching. We hope that transfer comes sooner rather than later, so that at least he can play preseason with his new club, and get familiar before before the season really kicks off. And then of course the Super Falcons, we're going to be cheering you on. We're looking forward to the Olympics. Hopefully the friendly tomorrow. Is a friendly. They don't have to win, but they should not lose. Just because if we see results tomorrow and they say, "Oh, Super Falcons lost 3-0," Nigerian fans will start to shout that, "Hey, how are this one's going to go to Olympics?" So they shouldn't lose. They should just hold their own, even though it's a friendly match against Canada today, tomorrow, if you are in North America. And then of course the Super Eagles is in God's hands. I'm really hoping that we can figure it out on that side and things can get better for us. And then finally, I echo the sentiment of Smith Layi. We really, really appreciate every single one of you that has tuned in to join the program today. We appreciate every single one of you that tunes in week after week, whether you tune in live or you watch on demand or you listen on demand. We really appreciate you. Unfortunately, we cannot take any more callers today because we are out of time. But there would always be next week, more opportunities for you guys to share your thoughts. If there's anything that you want us to discuss on the program, any topic, any questions, make sure you engage with us in the comments across our social media at Eagles Tracker _NG on Instagram, Eagles Tracker NG on X and on YouTube, and then Eagles Tracker on Facebook as well. If you'd like to support the program, support the channel, you can, of course, you can leave a super chat on Instagram. You can rather super chat on YouTube. You can leave stars on Facebook. Of course, you can also buy your merchandise on eaglestrackershop.com. T-shirts, phone cases, hoodies, and a lot more. You can buy Nigeria football T-shirts and support the ladies at the Olympics as well. As always, it's been a pleasure talking to you. My name is AyoT. My co-host is
Smith Layi.
This is the Nigeria FC podcast. Thank you very much, guys. Bye-bye.